All right, another feature that we're going to be talking about in this video, we're going to be talking about the call widget in your dashboard, and we're going to use it, and not only use it, but we're going to customize it. I think this call widget is especially important for those that are using GoHighLevel for your customers if you're an agency, um, and to be able to set up a widget so that can track inbound as well as outbound calls. And in order for us to go over that, let's go and share my screen and let's get right into it. All right, so we are in one of our sub accounts. It's actually a actual business owner, and I thought the best way to demonstrate this utilization and use of the call widget is to actually show you a real scenario where there are actually calls being made. This account doesn't particularly have a lot of inbound calls, but does have outbound calls. I wanted to show to you for demo purposes. Okay, so let's go and create a new widget. Now we are in the we're logged in as on the agency level, so you have the ability to do this. Okay, so we're going to create a new widget. Let's call it call widget demo, right? And we're just going to make sure that it's private to me and not available to everybody. So once you have it set up, then you can make it available to everybody. Okay, so let's go confirm. And then once you are here, let me just move my face over here. We are going to, excuse me, create a brand new widget by clicking on this icon here and add a widget here. And so if you go and scroll down to the bottom, you see where it says calls. And you have a plethora of different widgets that you can install. Incoming calls by status, outgoing calls by status, incoming calls total call duration, outgoing total call duration, and then average call duration for incoming and outgoing as well here. And then total calls placed by call attendee. Um, that's whoever is assigned to it, and then inbound average call durations by call attendee. Now, this is if you have maybe a particular sales team, if you're doing a lot of outbound calls, or if you are receiving a lot of inbound calls and you have customer service people, various different people, then you can track them by that as well. So there's a lot of use case scenarios. Um, First time calls by status, average duration, um, so, and then there's by call attendee and then duration, right? In this case, for to make this demo as simple as possible, we're going to do outbound call by status. So let's click on that widget and let me scroll down here, and we're just going to leave the title. You have the ability to change the title at your discretion. And then what we're going to use as metric is we're just going to do number of calls by count. Now you can do it by minutes, some minutes average, max. Sorry about that. I didn't go down in the order. And in this case, we're going to do by count. And then we are going to group them by, there's different ways, direction, call status, assigned to, call attended by, and source type. So we're just going to go and click on call status. So, like I said, there's so many different use case scenarios, and you have, your choice to utilize these various metrics and groups. Okay, and then you also have advanced settings. So let's go and take a look at these advanced settings. You can just change the order from ascending to descending, which is going to keep it at descending. And then you can also limit it by a certain number. Okay. And then this is the date that it's created. And then you can also um, change the what do you call it? The what you see on the board, you can change it by the dashboard date range, or you can specify a specific range within here, right? So let's keep it with the date range as specified on the dashboard, and then we'll just go and click save. And then as you can see here, you have outgoing calls by status. So as you can see here, the blue represents answered, and then number 4 is busy, and then missed call, this you can see is 3. Now this represents the overall number of calls that was done during this. Let me just click save. And as you can see here by this range from January 5th to, so within a month, this was the number of calls, 15, and then there are 8 answered, 4 busy, and 3 missed calls. All right, so let's go back and edit this widget to show you how the different ways that you can visually see this widget. So let's go to edit dashboard and then click on edit this widget here. And let's click on numeric. And so if you click save, and you can see that it just shows number 15, right? Now, this may or may not be desirable for your situation, but let's just click on here and let's go to the donut. And if you do donut, like we were doing before, this already shows 15. So I don't think in this case, you're going to use the numeric, all right? So let's go take a look at the line chart. And in this case, if you click on this, it's a little bit confusing. And I don't think that this will probably, if you're trying to show the number of calls and a breakdown of those calls, this is not a good way to visually show the breakdown of this specific widget. And so let's go take a look at the bar. And as you can see, bar, I think to visually show the total number of calls and then the breakdown, I think that's probably the best widget. Okay, so let's go back and take a look at the last one, horizontal bar. And let's click save. Oops, I don't know why. Oh, because my face is in the way. So let's go here. As you can see here, the same thing, whether it's vertical or horizontal, it's the same. I think the best case scenario, if you're trying to create a widget that shows the total number of calls and the breakdown of those calls, I think in this case, it would be the uh, donut right there, and click save. And I think this is probably the best widget for trying to represent the total number of calls and the breakdown of those calls. All right, for this demo purposes, let's do one more widget. And in this case, we'll go to edit and we'll add a widget. And let's go to calls and move my face here. Let's just do one for outgoing calls, total call duration. Let's click on that. And as you can see here, the metric here would be, let's call it sum here. Let's leave it as sum. And then here on advanced settings, create it on, and we'll call this dashboard range. Now let's do a scenario where we can pick last month and then click save. Okay. And as you can see here, the outgoing call total calls is 33 minutes and 19 seconds. Now, this is from January 1st to January 31st. Now, let's say hypothetically, if you change the dashboard calendar range, and let's call it, let's say December 1st to the 31st here, and confirm. As you can see, this widget, which we specified as using the dashboard date setting, changes, whereas this one stays because this widget we specified last month. If you want to make this bigger, you can also you can make it a little bit bigger so you can see the title, right? So let's go ahead and just edit this and see if there's a way that we can take a look at the average, right? And then click on save, and so this is the average call duration. Now this is a breakdown of uh, the total calls divided by the number of calls, and that is the average. So as you can see, there's many different ways that you can utilize this widget. All right, so I hope this video was helpful so that you can utilize the call widget for your inbound as well as your outbound calls. Until next time, bye now.